members of parliament, governors, even president, who are either people who are differently blessed, Mr. Speaker. And I know we have a number of colleagues, the co-sponsor, Senator Christo Lasike, Senator Mbugua Mungai, who is the vice chair of the Labour Committee. So, Speaker, it means that you can still be a leader in this country despite that. Mr. Speaker, on recognition by the judiciary, I don't know, because they said the judicial officer shall make a determination. So if we have a structured process of approval of interpreters, Mr. Speaker, it will be even easy, like some of us, when we appear to court, the magistrate, the judge can easily take your number of admission or to the bar and be able to check. So I think in regulation, the senator can still include so that it becomes easy. You know, Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, most of the things we like shortcuts. So if you don't have a proper process, it will be hard. So, Speaker, on clause number 7, I think reintegration on children also that they grow. And also, you know, there are children who are deaf, Mr. Speaker, they should be given the opportunity to reintegrate and be part of the learning process. Mr. Speaker, even as the Teacher Service Commission recruits the hiring of new teachers to fill in the gap across the country, Mr. Speaker, we want to call upon that they should also ensure at least they hire a number of interpreters in our schools, so that our children, Mr. Speaker, get opportunity in various schools. I pray one day, Mr. Speaker, you walk to a classroom like here in Starehe Boys Center or Buruburu Girls, and you get a deaf student sitting in classroom because there is an interpreter that has been hired by TSC, Mr. Speaker. Over the weekend, Mr. Speaker, I was in Kericho, Ainamo constituency, where we were burying the first national chairman, Stanley Mutahi. And teachers were raising a lot of issues, Mr. Speaker. And I think one of the issues that should be captured is to look at special needs teachers are being part where they had that discussion, Mr. Speaker, in Kericho County on Saturday. And the issue of delocalization, Mr. Speaker, is still rearing its ugly head. Mr. Speaker, as government, as the ruling party, we came with a platform of abolishment of delocalization. That is very sad that some individuals in TSC here in Nairobi still find it wise to still delocalize teachers, Mr. Speaker. You delocalize a teacher from Bomet or Nandi all the way to your county, Kilifi. They are at 58 years old. They have hypertension, Mr. Speaker, or diabetic. They are old, Mr. Speaker. They are looking at the retirement. I think the best that we can do as a country, let us give them the freedom of choice. Because even in Northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker, because of insecurity, I've seen teachers, Mr. Speaker, demonstrating at TSC headquarters. I think from Northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker, there must be affirmative action on how they can get the native teachers in that region to avoid our sons and daughters, Mr. Speaker, the risk of insecurity in the country. And I think Senator Professor Kithure Kindiki should be seized of the matter, Mr. Speaker. I think as a country, I'm not saying we should be cowards and run away from areas like Northern and Lamu, but as the government pushes to ensure these terrorists are being fought, Mr. Speaker, because terrorists are cowards. They don't agree to face anybody. What they do is they set bombs and IEDs and just run away. But they do. So to Mr. Speaker, I've gotten a lot of complaints and appeal from these teachers who are in Northern Kenya. I know the children of Northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker, deserve to be taught. They deserve quality and affordable education. But as a country, we must be realistic to the facts. I think the long-term solution is trying and having affirmative action in Northern Kenya to have the natives and from that region being part of the hiring by Teacher Service Commission, so that, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to resolve. So I want to confirm to the teachers that we were in Kericho over the weekend that on the aspect of delocalization, we shall not relent. Our position is crystal clear. Delocalization was abolished and it should be abolished. Let teachers work where they find it comfortable. It is not the business of government to create crisis in families and encourage kiptindinyas of this world, Mr. Speaker, to infiltrate into the family unit, which is the basic of society of this country, Mr. Speaker. And even, Mr. Speaker, as we discussed about education, you saw the Supreme Court ruling on Lgbtq, Mr. Speaker. And I saw a delegation from Uganda, which you have hosted ably, is we want to thank President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and we wish him long life. And we are happy that he cannot be intimidated or blackmailed by people who want to give aid to Uganda with strings that they should approve issues of lesbianism and gayism. He is the only man who has stood against such intimidation, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say that the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution is very clear. Family is a basic, as has been defined, Mr. Speaker, family is a man and a wife, Mr. Speaker. And I want to warn, Mr. Speaker, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. I have seen some books where they define a family, a man and a woman and children. They define a man with children, a woman with children, which are single families, but they go ahead and put a man and children. Then they go ahead and put a woman and children, Mr. Speaker. We should not allow Kenya Institute of the Curriculum to bring respectfully bad manners into our society. The day, Mr. Speaker, and I want to paraphrase what Yoweri Kaguta Museveni said, the day a man will give us a child, then we shall agree with this Western importation of nonsense, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, is to support that we need a regulation. And of course, I agree with Senator Kamar that we need a biodata and have in place, Mr. Speaker, the register for easy confirmation. And then finally, Mr. Speaker, I've seen the senator. I didn't know he has not placed us anywhere as Parliament and as a Senate, Mr. Speaker. Because what we need is, I can see, to persons with this shall in consultation with most representative registered. Mr. Speaker,